I have a wife and 3 kids. I don't think I would compete if I was neglecting my duties in this household. And I sat on sidelines for 6 years. I put my money where my mouth was. I wanted to be a kid. I want to be present. Now you just reminded me of what people are using now, that PMMA stuff, right? Like, it's not synthol, but it's something that they inject that enhance the muscle immediately, where you don't got to do lift a rep, just like synthol. You put synthol somewhere, you just enhance that muscle. That's not bodybuilding, right? Yeah. That's not bodybuilding. Ain't nobody putting on muscle. But whatever, teach his own. But here's the thing, I think it's in the IFBB. People have no idea. I looked it up. It's in there. Like, you're not supposed to take synthol or any kind of oils or SEOs, right? Because it's the site enhancements. Because it's different from PEDs, because PEDs, you could take it. If you sit on the couch, you're not gonna grow. You're not gonna grow, right? You could take it. You got to work. So I don't know. I feel like that has the biggest impact right now, because that's the thing that's being talked about the most right now. The body might be like look brand new, right? But the engine, man, is a classic. So I got to take care of myself too, and that's the stuff that I don't get to showcase and talk about on social media. They just see me do my little thug dizzle, and they think, oh, it's just genetics. Man, he's just crazy. He can move like that. I have to work at that. Like, I put in hours outside of the gym to keep my language shit.
I'll just say thanks for hopping on again. I know you're a busy man. That leads us to the next question, actually. I know you had to hop on for a sales call yesterday. So for people who don't know, what do you do, and how can someone work with you?
Oh, what do I do?
Yeah.
I'm an online coach. I've been doing this for, maybe over 15 years, I think.
Nice.
So I help everyday parents, work with a lot of dads, typically either entrepreneurial dads or executive type dads who have really busy schedules. And typically, they became one-dimensional in pursuing, financial stability, and they do that, and they get to a point where they realize, I let my health go, right? And that's the one thing you can't purchase back, regardless of how much money you have. So, and then they start playing the numbers game, and they realize how many years they have, solid years they have to get after it. And they also want to show up for their families how they want, right? To go to chase their kids around and so forth, and just be able to show up for their families how they want to. And also do contest prep as well. A handful of natty pros and a couple of actually, I think I might also be the only IFBB pro to coach another guy. We both got our pro cards on the same day.
What?
The same show.
Whoa, that's insane. In another division or the same division?
Yeah, same. Yeah, men's physique. Yeah, I ended up winning double my pro card in both classic and men's physique, and then my client.
Oh, wow, no way.
Yeah, so I think it was like
you really could have pushed on in classic if you wanted to.
That was my initial take.
You mentioned that yesterday, yeah.
Men's physique qualifier to do men's physique at nationals, because I had a handful of people from the IFBB kind of reach out and say, hey man, you should probably just try men's physique. I wasn't hearing it at first. I was like, nah, get out of here, man. I'm trying to pose and I'm trying to do my thing on stage. Yeah. In my mind, I was like, man, I'm going full board classic. I don't care what none of y'all say. But I took my age in consideration, and also we just had courage also.
Oh, and that's your son, your last actually your first boy, right?
That's my little boy. We have 18-year-old daughter and a 16-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old boy.
And my wife specifically asked me to ask you this, if Aaron Legend. she was like, yo, this guy's insane.
No, that's my boy, man. Yeah, I know Aaron. We know each other. That's my dude, man. Yeah, he's a Canadian, but he's doing his thing out in LA now.
Right? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, actually, he used to be my coach in the past, because I used to do men's physique as well. Yeah, he was one who actually really brought me into bodybuilding, even the mentality and everything back then. Yeah. Wow.
I think Aaron, if I'm not mistaken, he is also part Asian. He's a little bit Asian, maybe. I'm not
You
sure.
know, he is no, he's part white. His dad is
Okay,
white
okay.
and his mom is African. Yeah,
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. I knew it was mixed with something.
yeah.
Yeah.
And this was her literally telling me to ask you. Literally.
That's funny.
Oh man.
Aaron's bad and whatnot. Yeah. So we got three, man. We got two daughters,
Yeah.
and a little boy. That age gap is
Wow.
crazy.
That's
You know.
that's incredible, man. Wow. So wow. So that being said, though, you moved from the U.S. to Canada, right? So then, were you married already? And what was the reason behind it? If you got married here,
Yeah, we got married here. You know, so she had the daughters prior to me. I came into their lives when they were 7 and 9. Now they're 18 and 16.
man.
Yeah, I'm dad. I adopted them. They have my last name. You know what I mean? I'm not the stepdad. I'm the dad that stepped up. They call me
Oh,
dad.
amazing.
They call me daddy. Homeboy is not even in the picture. Who knows what he's doing, man?
Oh, that's another incredible. Wow, that's insane. That's another incredible part of your story too. Because wow,
And what's funny is like when you put all my kids together, they all look like me more than my wife.
dude, like even when you mention that now, it's hard to
Yeah,
envision because
they
I
look
wouldn't
just
have guessed that if you didn't
all
say it.
three of
Because yeah,
They look
wait,
just
what the? That's wow. That's wild. I think
yeah.
I saw a picture with you guys. Actually, you guys even do photo shoots and stuff like that together, no?
Yeah, sometimes Nikki
Yeah.
tries.
So I've seen a few of those, and I was like, wow, wow, beautiful family and everything. Like I didn't even think about that. So that's insane for you to say, wow,
Yeah, bro.
jeez, that's
It was a
insane.
lot, man. If I were to really put it in perspective,
Yeah.
we met and got married in 6 months. That was right before the pandemic, right?
No.
So we got married inside 6 months. The pandemic happened right after that. I moved from the USA to Canada, relinquished my business in Kansas City, started fresh here in Calgary, right? Went through the pandemic, lost a brick and mortar gym that she had started because of the pandemic, because we stayed in the lockdown for 2 years. And then in the midst of that, we're still getting to know each other as human beings, like two people getting to know each other. Now we have kids involved. She's pregnant with Courage. Man, we crammed 20 years inside like 3. It's insane. And the fact that we made it out on the other end is nuts. But I would say in the midst of all that, we came back to Christ. Not that I've always been a believer, but fair weather, right? Like a fair weathered fan. Didn't really go to the church, like randomly if I had, if someone invited me or if I had time. But when 2020 happened, did some self-reflecting and realized that I needed to bring myself back. And I had a conversation with my wife and she was all in with me. And that was awesome, like for that to happen, right? And no pushback, no nothing, like, yeah, good idea. So we got the family involved and all that. And I think by the grace of God, we made it through what a lot of families here in Canada couldn't make it through. And they got 15 years on us.
Wow, that's incredible.
Locked in a house for 2 years straight. And, with all these stipulations and rules and whatnot, people losing businesses. And it's crazy. People can't go to work or whatnot. That puts a lot of stress on a household. And so it was by design for us to have courage so fast. Right. He was like the cement that made sure we was going to work this out one way or another, regardless, and figure there was no quitting. Right. So I'm not trying to turn this into some kind of spiritual thing.
No, but it's needed. Like, honestly, it's part of the mindset, right? It's what drives the mindset.
I never talked about this. And
Wow.
people understand what we went through during that pandemic, that time, as far as like losing businesses and whatnot. It was a really deep, dark time.
To be honest, it was a dark time, even for me as well. Like, I lost more than physical things. Like, I lost my sister during that time. Like, people were thinking, the pandemic is like fake and whatnot, but I was dealing with it like real. Like, I was dealing with it like with a life, like that was hanging by the thread in hospital. And and then she passed, and it was like just like that. And she was fit. She was a normal lady, 35, like, yeah, with a 5-year-old kid. So like that time too, it was like insane. The same thing, I had to like come back to God and like really like find my faith back then as well. Same thing with my partner. I met my partner then as well. Like, wow, that's insane. And then we moved from Saskatchewan because I was studying in Saskatchewan then, and then we moved back to Toronto together.
Yeah, man. It was dark times, man. And what you found out who you really were then too,
Mm,
right?
mm.
And I'm just blessed and thankful that I didn't run away from him,
Wait, right.
right, and blame him. I was
Even
blaming at that time because of like the draconian lockdowns, especially in the Commonwealth countries like Canada, UK, and Australia. I had so many clients. I've never had more UK, Australian clients than during that time because everybody's
Wow.
inside their apartments.
Apartments, yeah. Online
Almost
trading.
like 2 years, just like we were here in Canada.
Yeah.
The US kind of went back, depending on the state you're in, they went back to normal within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right, but up here in the Commonwealth countries, they held them down. So I was drowning in my business during that time.
That's crazy. That being said, how important is it to have like a supported partner when you're chasing like high level goals? Just mentioned like a bit of it. That's why I quickly pulled up this question. And how do you make sure like you give the same support back and forth? Because I know a big prep, especially like when you have big shows back to back, could be like a lot. So what is it like? What's that dynamic like during that period for you?
I'm not gonna lie. Prep is pretty. I don't want to use the term easy. It's not easy. When I'm locked in prep, like everything's systematic. I have a schedule for everything, right? Like everything's ritualistic. And I still do my dad duties. During that time, I still got up early to get Courage ready for school, take him to school. I'm the one that I do that 99% of the time. That's me. That's my job. To take him to school and pick him up. I'm always there. And that's more for me because I just want him to remember that when he's an adult, that damn, the dad was always, he took me to school every day. He picked me up every day. His ass was always there. I'm doing that work now. I'm suffering now because I want him to remember that later. And I still do all that. I still do all those things. I will say towards the end, because I had such a long season, it was 8-9 months of dieting, like in a deficit for me, right? With moments coming out of the deficit. But yeah, from the first show I did in Denver all the way to Olympia this year, that was over 8 months. So towards the end, because I was running the gauntlet for so long, maybe it was also because this is my first time back, but that's the longest I've ever gone. That was my longest season. So my body was tired. I was feeling it. I was starting to have some health complications too. So I'm like, it's time to chill, right? It's going to an off season, a health phase, and then a proper off season. But it was difficult. Only the last couple of weeks though. But throughout my prep, man, it was, especially in the beginning, doing the first couple of shows, it wasn't super hard. Now, when I'm traveling, wifey has to pick up the pieces when I'm not there. So that part sucks. It kind of weighed on her a little bit, but she's a trooper. She steps up. She knows she's also a competitor. Well, she's a former competitor. She was a pro with the WBFF, and she was on a wellness kick for a second, but
that takes away one of our questions.
Life happened, business happened for us. So so she decided, maybe the competing thing is not for me. We'll just, we'll just have one competitor in the household. But she's what I try to do, man, I try not to let this competition world invade my personal life, my marriage, my kids, and towards the end it's a little hairy a little bit, but it's a little understandable. So I'm mindful of it, right? It's not that I'm just a little more quiet and more tired and more reserved, right? I'm not up for going to the park or whatever that last week or two. But I don't even like that though. I want to be able to be there for him. And the moment like the competing is tearing into is digging into like my personal life too much, then I gotta put it by the wayside. But thankfully, I'm able to manage things quite well with my schedule and still compete at a high level. And that's another reason why I chose men's physique as well, because I probably wouldn't have been able to do that if I went up to classic. But with my physique, genetically where I'm at, the muscle the muscle mass that I have now, I can maintain pretty well and still compete at a high level. In the men's physique category, and still be able to manage my business, my clients. I don't say manage my wife, but manage, right? I have a wife and 3 kids. The 2 are older, and they have their own lives. They got boyfriends, and they drive their own cars and whatnot. But it's a lot. It's a lot of moving pieces, and I don't think I would compete if I was neglecting my duties in this household. And I sat on sidelines for 6 years. I put my money where my mouth was. I wanted to be a kid. I want to be present. I didn't want to have any doubts or not doubts, any regrets of not being around. So I wanted to be present and active in his life. So I'm kind of like mom to a mom. Like he has mom, but he comes to dad for everything, man. So dad for this, dad for that. Like we have a really, really fun relationship, and I don't have to discipline him that much. I talk to him. We have talks for the most part. And because I could be a little more stern about certain things like screen time and whatever. I'm the disciplinary typically, so I don't want to push him in that realm as well. So I let Nikki do that a little bit. But I want him. I don't care what he does. I just want him to pick something and have it and find something that he loves. So he figures out what passion feels like. Because most people don't understand that. Well, most people don't. They never had a passion in their life. That's a lot of people, especially like growing up. I looked at my parents and my friends' parents. They just clocked in, clocked out. Yep. They were miserable. I heard it. Every parent I heard talk about, they got excited because it was Friday coming up, but everybody on Sunday all sad, right, and looking stupid because they got to go to work on Monday. They didn't have any. All the souls was just sucked out of them.
The creativity just like explodes because you're happy to do what you're doing, and you know what I mean. And it's just like it's amazing to feel that. So like I love that you mentioned that. Wow.
I feel like it's the secret ingredient to being really successful. And if you don't have that, then you'll never make it. And the reason why I say that is because I found it the first time through track and field, but I didn't recognize what it was. I was too young. I was,
you mentioned that.
19, 20. Yeah, I was too young. I was just in the moment, grinding. I knew that my hard work was paying off. I was all in, balls deep, right? Qualified for Olympic trials. I raced in Canada, ran for a Norwegian track club during the summer of my senior year. I was all over the place, man. And I never thought that, wow, I'm lucky to be here. I just thought it was matter of fact. I'm supposed to.
That's crazy. Wow.
Right?
Wow, that's crazy.
How hard I worked. Like I was so dead set on this track and field life, man. I put in extra work more than anybody else. Sunday long runs. I only ran 2 laps around the track. I was an 800-meter runner. Why am I doing 16-mile long runs on Sunday? Right? That's crazy. I was also on the cross country team too. So like they really used the heck out of me, man. Indoor, outdoor track, cross country. I didn't have my off season. I didn't have off season. And then in the summer when I was good enough, I'd race summer track. I'd be in either Canada or Europe racing. So it was all year long, no off season, man.
Wow. So which means you could have even like if you just stuck to running, you could have been like a successful like runner as well. You could have like taken it that far. Like could have been like, were you looking at the Olympics back then? What were you thinking of as like, whoa, just like now, like Olympia, what were you thinking of back then?
Your dream is typically to be a professional in that sport.
Yeah.
Or fighting for whatever championship title, right? If it's bodybuilding, it's Olympia. If you're a track and field athlete, it's the Olympics, which is
exactly the Olympics,
yeah, because the whole world's actually involved in this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I qualified for 2000 Olympic trials.
Oh wow!
2 years ago, what 2020? What year is it? 2026? 26 years ago. That's crazy.
Whoa!
Yeah. That's crazy.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah. So that was my first love, man. And I didn't realize why I was good at it, right? And it wasn't until later when I came into bodybuilding in my mid-30s that I realized that after all the cardio I was doing, right? I realized why I surfaced back up to the top whatever 1%, top 0.5% in the world of what I do is because of passion, right? Okay, what's passion? Passion is that secret ingredient that allows you to put in more work than anybody else. Like an employee can't fathom work more than 40 hours a week. They clock in, clock out 40 hours, right? Because they get paid for it. And they're on salary, so they're not going to put in 40, maybe 41, 42 to look good in front of the boss, get a raise or whatever, or a promotion. But they won't clock 50 hours a week, 50 hours a week on a regular basis. day in, day out. Oh, sorry, week in, week out. They won't. But you get an entrepreneur trying to get his business kicked off, and he believes in that and what he's trying to create. That fool will work 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week, consistently, right? Either until that thing makes it, until he burns out and crashes. But they'll do that. And a person working 40 hours a week cannot fathom that.
Fathom that, yeah.
After year after year, and see how much further that person that has that passion and drive, they leave these people. They can't even see them no more in a couple of years.
That's insane, man.
And they see him whatever. They see him successful in sports or whatever realm that they're in, and they just seem like, oh, he's an overnight celebrity or whatever. They
didn't realize the work doesn't
either 10 years or 100,000 hours, whichever one came first, right? To master that craft, to be where they're at. And the average person working 40 hours a week can't fathom that level of passion, dedication to like grind on something. And that's the reason why I was able to surface up to the top and not, because I'm average everywhere else for the most part. Yeah, maybe I like to think I'm slightly above average in a lot of areas, but I'm not killing it. Like I'm not to where I'm either track and field or bodybuilding. But those are the two things I was very passionate. I'm passionate about. I guess I'm also passionate about, protecting my family and kids. But like, because of that, that's what allowed me to be better than the average. You take that away, I blend right in with everybody.
Wow. That's deep, man. Because people don't even understand what that, like you said, people don't understand what passion even means to begin with.
And the only way for that boy is going to figure that out is make him do stuff. Get out there. You don't got to stay in a picture. If you don't like it, cool, we'll find something else. But you better get out there and try it. And if I don't do that for him, like then I'm the idiot. I'm the one to blame. If he doesn't find his passion, like, okay, as an adult, like as long as I do what I'm supposed to do, then as an adult, then the responsibility is on him. But I should be like introducing him to stuff, making him try stuff. Like I want him to find his passion.
I love that.
Yeah. But anyways, that's the reason why I took the 6 years hiatus off. And I didn't know. I never thought I was going to come back to bodybuilding. I struggled when I quit. I said when I retired, when Courage was born. I struggled. I struggled a lot with everything. Being a dad, a new husband, new dad. My identity changed. I'm not the influencer bodybuilder no more. I'm just this dad. I'm here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, locked in this damn house. It was hard, man. I think I felt that might have been the first time I was depressed.
Wow.
I don't know, because I never felt like, but I've never been depressed before. But I think that's what it felt like.
Wow. I can imagine, or I can only imagine, because like when you've put so much, like you said, passion into this, and then all of a sudden you just like literally you just retire, and you're like, oh, so this is what life is without, what I mean, without my passion and stuff. So I wouldn't
change a thing. I think I did the right thing.
Honestly, you did.
I'm happy with the relationship I have with my son now. Is dope.
Exactly.
I listened to my heart, listen to God, and I just knew I had to be obedient. And I'm being rewarded for my fruits of my labor now, because of the relationship I have with him now, and also because I was able to come back from retirement and put out the best physique ever. Right? I think that's the reward. That was my reward for being obedient, right, and sticking to my mission and my plan.
Exactly, because if you didn't do what you're meant to do for those 6 years, then it would always just be, then that would have been the problem in your career, basically, and it would just be what was pulling you down, and then you would never have been able to achieve that physique probably that you wanted to achieve. So that was God just like pushing you in the right direction to make sure that, okay, you focus on the right things at the right time, and then boom, look at you, people are still like wondering like, what? How was he able to come back and have the best physique so far, like in his career? That's, and that's like God basically helping you to like navigate through, because that's what people feel, like I said before, like it's like kids and a family and everything, and you said it yourself, that's how the kind of people you're even coaching now, because like you need to they need that, literally they need that support system. So that's awesome to hear.
100%, man. As I was sitting out those 6 years, I wasn't thinking that I was coming back. Watching guys on Instagram and getting low key jealous that they're still doing it, not right? And I'm not, nothing crazy, but I'm like, I just missed it, right? I missed it.
Yeah.
A little bit jealous of these guys out there having fun, getting on stage and doing their thing. And I'm over here just, I'm just an entrepreneur and a dad, just doing my thing now, and watching from the sidelines. It hurt a little bit. It stung every time I saw it. Because every week, like some stage somewhere, and I got to look at it on my phone. I'm like, golly, man. So it's a blessing for me to be able to come back like that. It was a shock. This year wasn't planned. It wasn't planned, man. Like when I made the decision, it was 16 weeks out from the first show. I was like, I'm doing it, I guess. I did it, and I was like, okay, well now I got to get ready.
Wow.
Yeah, well, can I get ready? What am I doing? That's how it happened. It wasn't nothing. No, it wasn't. Nothing was planned out. There was no meticulous thought out plan. So the comeback was like, I just pulled that out of my butt, man. I didn't plan. I'm going to come back and do this. None of that. I was just like, the last second, man, let's see, can I? Right. And then that spiraled into me getting super competitive and aggressive again with my, right? And then,
that's awesome.
The season transpired how it did. I had a really awesome season after a 6-year hiatus.
Really, like the best season. So you probably built up that intensity as well. You're like, when you go back, you're like, that fire was lit up. You're like, man,
I was so happy to diet. I was happy. I was laughing about it. I was like, I never thought I'd say this before.
Wow.
To be dieting for a show. Happy, man. That was crazy.
While others were dying. That's crazy. Because people usually, once it's like 12 weeks, not even 12 weeks, like 8 weeks, 4 weeks, people start to go crazy usually. But I'm sure you were just like enjoying like
a couple process weeks, again. I'm back into this routine again. I remember what this felt like. This is dope. It's so like a little nostalgic feeling, and I felt like an athlete again. Like it was good. Like I was tickled pink, man. And I was like, I never thought I'd feel like this about like that.
Jeez. And then let's move on to PEDs. I know we're talking about that briefly yesterday. I wanted to ask you, from your experience, what are the 3 PEDs that have had the biggest impact in men's physique overall, and why?
What are the 3 PEDs?
3 major PEDs that have had the most impact in men's physique.
Men's physique.
Yeah.
Man, that's a tough question. I don't know. Right? Like I'll answer that question, but before that, you just reminded me of what people are using now, that PMMA stuff. Right? Like it's not synthol, but it's something that they inject that enhance the muscle immediately, where you don't got to do a lift or rep, just like synthol. You put synthol somewhere, you just enhance that muscle. That's not bodybuilding, right?
Yeah.
That's not bodybuilding.
And I think synthol shows a lot, no?
Huh? What?
Synthol shows a lot on the body. Like when you do that, it shows, like it's visible.
When you go overboard, it's excessive. You can see, you can tell, right? Because you're striated everywhere, and then where the oil is, it looks soft and just there's no striations. So, but if you do a little bit of it, it might not even be noticeable.
Oh wow!
And if it's not noticeable, why would you do it? Right. So it's
exactly.
The PMMA, like that's different, man. That stuff stays in your, I guess the oil does too, but it stays in your system, it gets embedded into your muscle. You really can't take it out without cutting tissue. It stays in your body, and it's toxic, it's not good for you. But the PMMA is what a lot of people are using now. I think, and it looks better than synthol. I think it's hard to protect, but that's what everybody's talking about with that Natalie chick, man. And then they showed the photos of like these different shows and the dates and how far apart the shows were. Ain't nobody putting on muscle that.
Oh wow!
But whatever, teach his own. But here's the thing, like that's like it's technically, I think it's in the IFBB. People have no idea. I looked it up. It's in there. Like you're not supposed to take synthol or any kind of oils or SEOs, right? Because it's the site enhancements. Because it's different from PEDs. Because PEDs, you can take it if you sit on the couch. You're not gonna grow. You're not gonna grow. Right? You could take it. You got to work. Like PEDs just gives you the ability to work more. So if you don't like to work, PEDs ain't for you, right? Because it just makes you like it pushes your
recover a little more. If you go really hard, then you're not gonna be sitting down like I'm dead. Yeah.
Right. If you're a dog and you're a grinder and you use PEDs, then it's going to work really great for you.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that mindset to grind it, you're not a dog. You don't like hard work, then you don't need to take. You shouldn't be taking that. Right. But this other stuff, this oil that you inject, I just want bigger delts, and I inject it. I got bigger delts. Having to go to the gym. But how's that bodybuilding?
Wow.
Right? Like, yeah, I guess you technically building Legos or something. Right? It's building Legos, I guess, something like that. But it's not, but you're not going to the gym to enhance your physique. You're just injecting stuff. So I don't know. I feel like that has the biggest impact right now, because that's the thing that's being talked about the most right now.
That's insane.
Yeah, but I don't know what had the most. I mean, I guess what the most impact would always be just your base testosterone.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
That would have the most impact, because 99.9 or 0.8 of the people that make it on the high level, right? Like we're talking top 3, first call out type guy, or making it to to Olympia. I'd say 99.98% of the people are going to be on something.
Yeah.
Handful that sneak in, that make it. Titus is one of them from Canada.
Oh, yeah, Titus, yeah.
Tory Washington is another one. He's older than me. Right. So he made it. So like there are some, but like everybody's on something for the most part.
That guy's even vegan, no?
Have to be
shit.
He's vegan too, yeah. But testosterone would have to be the biggest impact on it. Right.
So natties can't have any of those things, like even test, or is that qualified as not natty?
No. Those are PEDs, man. You can't have any synthetic testosterone. You can't do, right? Yeah. And I'm not even sure. I think even peptides, though, like I don't think you're supposed to even do that. I don't know. I'd have to check on that one. And the thing is, with peptides, that's like your natural, like those are branched chain amino acids. It's your body's natural language. So I feel like that should be allowed, even in the natural realm, because it's natural. Like you have all the stuff is already inside of you, and when you take peptides, it's literally your body communicating. It's like sending a text message to your body saying, "Hey, like burn fat a little bit faster, build muscle a little bit better, or pump the brakes on the aging a bit."
Yeah. So that being said, what are the 3 most useful peptides? That's actually the next question. Because I heard BPC and then something ipamorelin or something like that.
So BPC 157 and TB 500 is a Wolverine stack. So if you got injury, tendons, ligaments, soft tissue, muscle, it's going to expedite and speed up the process of the healing process. It works. It's called the Wolverine stack. It's awesome. But I really haven't really used that stack. I haven't been really all that bad. For me, NAD plus, it's an anti-aging, reverse your biological age. And I felt the most about a month into my prep. Even when I'm sleep deprived, rocking 5-6 hours of sleep, which is horrible for prep. Training an hour and a half, cardio up to 2.5, 3 hours towards the end. It was a lot, man. And I was shocked at how I was able to handle that. I was able to recover and still continue to push through these workouts. And I felt good even with lack of sleep. A little tired here and there sometimes, and I'd catch up on the weekends or whatnot. But even with lack of sleep, my body was responding so well. Insane. So NAD is that's the biggest thing the one thing that I noticed I added to my repertoire this year, that I felt like was a game changer for me.
Wow, that's cool to know. Actually, I'm sure a lot of people would love to hear that.
Initially, I just had to go off of how I felt, right? But now, looking at the data, looking at the photos, it did its job because I was able to train with higher frequency and I was recovering faster, right? Which goes hand in hand with how I felt, which also goes hand in hand with the physique that I produced this year, especially at Masters Olympia in Japan, right? So because I was on the NAD, I felt younger. I felt 10, 15 years younger, which is why I was able to train with higher frequency and recover, which is why I put out my best physique at 49. That makes sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I got to give NAD the credit for it because my protocol is I don't have a heavy protocol. These kids rocking 750 tests, like it's insane. I've never been over 450 ever in my life. And this is over a decade of this. Like, what do you migrate to after that? Like, what do you up to?
That's nuts, man.
The gram of testosterone.
When I hear those things, I just get so confused because, like, those dosages sound so far-fetched. I'm like, how is that even possible? How are you able to pin yourself? That's when the first thing I think of.
It's possible, but then bodybuilding isn't everybody. If like some people can literally like, and also depends on how hard they train, the mentality. There's a lot of variables, right? But you know, if you're crushing yourself, and you're really training hard, and you're taking all this gear, like, and you don't even look like you're if you don't even look like you're aspiring to be an open class bodybuilder or a classic physique guy, then bro, what's the point? Why you got to find a different sport? Like get into something else where you're not compromising your health that much, right? To that point. So that's always been a big kicker for me. Is like I'm trying to be around for a while. I'm trying to have kids. Like I had Courage 6 years ago, in the middle of Courage was we sealed the deal with Courage when I won my national qualifier in classic physique back in 2018. We did the math on that. Wifey at the time was my fiance. She flew out to support me in Texas, right? And then so we're doing the reverse engineering on the math. That was when we had Courage. So you know, for me, longevity has always been it. Because I started the sport kind of late, and you know, I
34, right?
34, yeah. I tapped out my natural genetics. I won my first world title in the WBFF Natty, and then everybody kept coming back 10, 15 pounds heavier, like from stage weight to stage weight. How? What the hell? How? What the hell? Right? So I quickly found out what
the hell.
Yeah, I did a little research. Yeah, so you know, so I had to go half natty on him to get that second title. Right? By the third, I was really doing on TRT and Anavar. But you know, it's a learning process, man. The blood work, I highly recommend blood work first. Don't just jump on some stuff. Do blood work first and foremost, right? Like, why not take a look into your future, right? So before you do anything, get that blood work done. Make sure you get the green light, right? Because some people it may not be compatible for, depending whatever ailments they have. So, and it also just it just gives you a peek into the future, and you get to play offense with your health instead of defense.
No defense, yeah. Wow, I love that. Even I was sharing your profile with my brother the other day. He's older than me. He's like in his late 30s now, and I was just reminding him because it was like saying something similar. It was like he doesn't think he can do anything like super serious in sports anymore, and I was like, honestly, like it depends on your mindset. And I just shared your profile to him, and I was like, check this dude out. Like honestly, look at how he even came this year, and the run to the Olympia, he got his best physique ever. Like it just depends on your goal and everything. And he was blown away literally, because he had some injuries as well. He was telling me about peptides and whatnot. He's actually on the Wolverine stack, I believe, and he was just like, he was blown away. He was like, wow. And that just lit a fire in him again. He was like, wow. So like, he was like, I mean, he said, you know what? I'm just going to leave it to God, and I'm just going to keep working. That's what exactly the words he said. And I was so happy to hear that, because like prior to that, he was kind of like feeling down. He actually texted me. He was like, it just feels like age is just like catching up with him and this and that. And I was feeling like, wow, my brother, you know what I mean? Like when I was growing up, he was the one I was looking up to. He was like, it was this big dude, round delts, you know what I mean? Like big chest. He had a tattoo on his chest as well. So I'd be like, whoa, my brother. And I wanted to be like him, you know what I mean? So like to hear that from him, I was just like, wait.
Well, maybe he's experiencing pain. Like that usually
pain actually. Pain, yeah.
Joint pain will demoralize the strongest person.
Wow.
And I'm one of them. It took it out of me, man. When I couldn't figure out how to fix my dang knees or my shoulder or whatever, I was in pain for a long time. And I just tried to fight through it. hard. And the thing is, if I wasn't who I was on social media and I wasn't competing, I'd have quit a long time ago. But I felt like I had no other choice. Like, this is it. I'm not going back to work in corporate, whatever. So, like, I feel like I damaged my joints doing all this, man. But for me, it's just the dieting, like just the lifestyle, not even for shows. How I eat over the past couple of decades plays into effect. Heavy metal detoxing, like these supplements that I take. It's not just like the bro stuff with pre-workouts and whatnot, but like doing a heavy metal detox on a regular basis, right? That also helps when you can manage inflammation. That's the key, right? To simplify health, right? Is if you can manage inflammation in the body and protect and heal your gut, you will sort out dang near everything.
That's where everything starts, right? All the problems, most of the problems, basically.
The gut, and then like your body inflammation. When you can manage all that, you can stave off so many different ailments. Oh, and they won't teach you that in Western medicine. They won't teach you that because they won't teach you how to manage your money. They won't teach you how to be healthy because that's how they stay.
Yeah.
That's how they make money. That's how they stay wealthy. So for me, yeah, it's the diet. It's also doing these protocols, like these exercises that my chiropractor gives me or whatever. It's also doing for me the dry needling, right? I have to stay on top of a lot of things. Like I would say I'd probably put in about an hour and a half of work outside of the gym so I can continue doing what I want to do inside the gym. When I was younger, I didn't have to do all this stuff. I didn't have to do these extra stretches. I didn't have to go get work done by a chiropractor. I didn't have to do none of that. I just went in the gym and banged out. I didn't have to warm up. Give me a set first. Come on, top set. Let's go. I'm not waste my energy. Let's rock it. Right? I can't do that now. Right now, but the thing is, I'm just as strong as I was, but I gotta warm up. I gotta warm up for my warm up first, right? And then I'm good. But all these things that I do, the infrared sauna, we have infrared sauna in the basement that I get into also. Wooden grasping tools. I do all these things to keep me feeling younger. Right? On top of taking the NAD, right? I'm all in on. That's the reason why. It's not just I'm just blessed with these genetics. My skin might be really good and I have Japanese and black skin, but like, man, my joints feel like everybody else's joints. Man, this is 1976 engine up in this piece, right? The body might be like look brand new, right? But the engine, man, this is a classic. So like, I got to take care of myself too, and that's the stuff that I don't get to showcase and talk about on social media. They just see me do my little thug dizzle, and they think, oh, it's just genetics, man. He's just crazy. He can move like that. I have to work at that. Like I put in hours outside of the gym to keep my shit together, man. My body, like, who keeps bench pressing 365 at 50 years old? Like, you don't think that person's shoulder's gonna hurt?
Exactly, right? Holy shit.
Right. So like, I got to do stuff in order for me to press that kind of weight. I have to do stuff outside of the gym to just, to keep myself healthy.
Yeah.
So the age is nothing but a number. That's whatever, man. It matters, and I've changed the way I live my life. I changed the way I train because of my age, and because of that, because I was smart about it. I'm still able to continue to see new PRs, new personal bests, whether in my physique or performance based inside the gym.
Wow, awesome. You just answered another question. So you're really big on humor on Instagram, right?
What are you waiting for? Subscribe, watch the videos, leave us a like, and definitely don't forget to leave us a comment. Let us know what you'd like to see. Let's go, queens and kings, to the world.